everybody, and welcome to the Divisional Round of the playoffs 2017 season. I'm your host, Cody P. I'm going to do a quick recap of last week. Since we're doing all three now, let me give you a breakdown. Straight up, 3-1. Curse you, Falcons. Ruining everyone's fun. 2-2 against the spread. Saints weren't able to cover, and the Falcons ended up upsetting the Rams. So, and 3-1 of the totals. Falcons-Rams game was a little under more than we thought it was going to be. Oh well. You know our background noises. I live in a family household. I'm not the only one here. Deal with it. So now we are down to the final 8 teams left, and let's get going to it, shall we? First game, we're going to go in order again, as if they are presented to us. Words are hard. The Atlanta Falcons head to Philadelphia. Falcons are favored by 3, making, I don't know if this is the first one, but first in a while where the road team is favored against the number 1 seed. Anywho, Falcons are favored by 3, and the total is 41. Simple score. Atlanta Falcons team, I guess you can consider them lucky to be back in the playoffs. I mean, there's a lot of twists and turns, including injuries to both the Green Bay and Seattle teams who are usually in the playoffs every single year. Plus, with all the hype of the Dallas Cowboys, they fall apart. All the hype of the Giants, they fell apart. Cardinals, injuries hurt them. Lions, the Lions. And a bevy of reason for the other teams. But here you are, Atlanta. You are back here. People were predicting you to go back to the Super Bowl. And through the first couple of weeks, you kind of disappointed us. Losing games to the Bills and to the Dolphins after holding halftime leads. What are you going to do? Now you're going against the Philadelphia Eagles, a team who was flying high and mighty until their quarterback gets hurt and is out for the season. Now you gotta rely on some punk who hasn't done well much of anything. And you never know what you're going to get. Like honestly, in his 2 games he started, he had a 4 touchdown game his first game, and then the next game he kind of was disappearing. Didn't do much of anything. So which Philadelphia Eagles team are you going to get with Carson Wentz, or with Nick Foles now at QB? The defense is still a great defense, will do its job, but you got an Atlanta team who's really fighting to get back to the Super Bowl and avenge their 25-point blown death lead. Yes, comment all your 23 lead memes. Yippee-ki-yay. Anywho, Atlanta, they're a decent team. They only was able to put up 26 against the Rams. And the Rams, I would argue, are a decent team, but the Eagles have a better defense. So, at this point, this game is really going to be decided on how Nick Foles performed. Are we going to get the Nick Foles who threw 7 touchdown passes against the Raiders many moons ago? Or are we going to get the Nick Foles who struggled against the Raiders on a Monday Night Football game? We don't know. Do you know? I don't know. But Atlanta with only a 3-point cover, 3-point spread, I think it's enough to gamble. Everyone's predicting Atlanta to win. They're more than likely going to win because you can't trust Nick Foles. And Matt Ryan and the offense are really fighting to get back, beating a good Rams team, and now they get an Eagles team who's down their best player. So I think the 3 is totally worth it. And I'll be real, I think both teams have a good enough defense that it'll be a little bit of low scoring. 41's kind of a risk when you're going for unders, but the under is definitely worth it. So here we're going. We're going to go Atlanta straight up, Atlanta -3, and under the 41. Second game we're going to look at has the another lucky team, Tennessee Titans, heading to Foxborough to face the Patriots, where the Patriots are 13.5-point favorites at home, and the total is 47.5. Well, hi Tennessee, you somehow got past KC. I called it. And to make things even better, I want to make a quote to y'all quickly. I commented on Gio when he made this prediction. He was predicting, I think it was like a 33-20 victory for the Kansas City Chiefs. I told him this. I also think the Tennessee and KC game will be much closer and much lower scoring. Like maybe along the lines of a 23-20 kind of game. I have Tennessee winning. And what happened? It was 22-21. Tennessee won. Take that, Gio. Nah, I'm like any cool editor. I can't do that. All that crap. So, I mean, there's my phone. You can see the comment there. Pause the video if you'd like. So you can read the whole comment, or you can go over to my boy Gio's channel, watch the wildcard prediction videos he made, and you'll see my comment. Shout out to your boy Gio. I also called the Bills and Jags game being very low scoring. And probably there would be more field goals at least, but that was really low scoring. Anywho, back into Tennessee. Tennessee, another one of those good, happy-go-lucky stories. This is one of those games where everyone's going to root for Tennessee because very few people actually like New England outside of Foxborough and all that northeastern areas. I mean, you might be a Patriots fan. I'm not going to criticize you, but most people hate your team. That's just how it is. Like the Cowboys, the Steelers, a couple other teams. Most people hate you. I'm going to give Tennessee the benefit of the doubt here. I'm not going to give them a win. But if you look at New England, yes, they went 13-3. But they have not been dominant. You get the vibe that they're not that Super Bowl 51 or 49 team, you know. Great offense, great defense, all powerful. All that. It's... something is off. Like enough for people to willing to think that Pittsburgh could overcome them in Foxborough to go to the Super Bowl if these two meet in the AFC Championship game. And enough for some people that if KC would have beaten Tennessee and gone to face New England, KC might have surpassed them. New England overall just seems off, but I think they're, especially with all the things that have been going around lately about the controversies and little infight between QB, coach, and owner, with rumored, doubtfully, but rumored that one of them may be leaving, or retiring, or who knows what. But all in all, I think everyone's just going to overreact, nothing to worry about. I think the Patriots will win this game, but I think they'll keep it close. Like 13.5, I have faith Tennessee. If they run the ball like they've been, should be fine. I don't think they'll win, but they'll make it interesting. So, and 47.5, you know, I think New England will score. I think this is along the lines of a game that maybe New England wins maybe 34-23 or something like that. Like, Tennessee, it'll be probably more than a score loss, but they'll keep it relatively close. So, here, take New England straight up, Tennessee plus the 13.5, and over the 47.5. Third game we'll look at is another rematch, or I guess a rematch, the second rematch comes later, when the Jacksonville Jaguars head to Pittsburgh, with the Steelers at 7.5 point favorites and the total at 41 again. Jacksonville kind of surprised everyone going into Pittsburgh and whooping up on these guys with a good, lovely 30-9, making Big Ben question whether or not he wanted to even play football after anymore. Like, this team really got to him. Now, do I think that's going to happen again? No. But we're looking at a offense-heavy team and a defense-heavy team. Pittsburgh, they used to be a decent defense, but ever since Ryan Shazier were down, prayers up to him. Their defense, I would have to say, looks a little questionable. Now, I don't know who was exactly starting in the Steelers-Brown game, but the Browns did score a lot of points. They made that game interesting. And they've been vulnerable to the point where their defense level, I mean, the Ravens offense scored 38 points. Not the Ravens offense. We're not an offensive team. I don't care what anyone says. But they should be getting AB back, so that will boost the offense. They didn't have that for the last couple of weeks, so they still scored highly. So, and Jacksonville is one of the better defenses, but after seeing Blake Bortles perform last week, do you trust this team? I think for the sake of the Jaguars, they need to focus highly on the run game. Just keep Pittsburgh off the field and hope that your defense can get a lucky score or two. Think about it, what was it? 2 pick sixes? So that's 14 points, and then the last second touchdown, 21. So technically, Jacksonville didn't really score anything. They got a couple field goals, but that was about it. But on the other hand, could not really advance the ball against Jacksonville. But in all fairness, I think Pittsburgh tries a little harder. They know what's on the line. They know they gotta do everything they can to, because this is a team that should not be underestimated. give them credit where credit is due. The fact that they got this far, props to them. But I think this is where the Jacksonville fun train stops. But then again, I also think Pittsburgh, they'll have their errors. I think Jacksonville will get at least a turnover or two. Ben is prone to throw interceptions, and he'll probably throw one or two here. But I think Pittsburgh gets away. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take Pittsburgh straight up. I think the Jags keep it close, so take the Jaguars plus a 7.5. And since this is Jacksonville's a really good defensive team, I'm going to go under the 41. But my mind's telling me the chances are that the over will more than likely happen. But I'm taking the under. And then the final game, the game that I personally wanted to be in the NFC Championship game, but to get that, the Rams would have to beat the Falcons. That didn't happen. Here we are. New Orleans Saints head to Minnesota. Minnesota is a 5-point favorite at home, and the total is 46.5. Minnesota defense. That is a defensive team. And their offense has been clicking. Case Keenum has been doing more than enough to help this team advance places. More than enough. And then you got New Orleans, who finally found a defense, and therefore have been advancing. They've been to the playoffs for the first time in a couple of years now. They beat Carolina, kept it interesting, kept it close. Carolina's a good team in divisional teams and playoff games. Not something to shrug your shoulder by or watch over. It's going to be an interesting game nonetheless. I think this is the game of the playoffs. This will be the number one game of the playoffs at the very least. Maybe of the season. We'll see how it goes. New Orleans, Drew Brees runs that offense. Two monster running backs. They can take care of business. I like the Minnesota Viking defense, but I feel like Saints are going to drop a good 3 touchdowns on them. Good chance of that. And then Minnesota, again, they're also a really competent offense against that young but very decent secondary. So I think they can also drop 3 touchdowns. This game could easily both go into the 30s, with the Vikings getting at least 1 defensive touchdown maybe. But this game could easily have both teams dropping 30s. So the odds of the over surpassing is more than likely. In fact, I would encourage you to take the over on this, despite both teams having a decent defense. And the Vikings are playing at home, so I'm giving them the edge. Although this game could go either way. And it really sucks because I want one of this game in the NFC Championship because I think these two are the best teams. Since Carson Wentz went down with injury, I think these two are the best teams. So, and it hurts me. I'll tell you right now, though, the winner of this game, they are going to the Super Bowl. I don't trust the Falcons or the Eagles enough to surpass either of these two teams. So, and it pains me again, but I'm going to go with the home team on this because that defense wins championship, and the odds of being able to play in your own stadium for the Super Bowl, that motivates the team, especially now that you're in the playoffs. And you're considered one of the best, if not the best team in the NFL, outside of New England, which has their question marks. So here we're going to go. We're going to take the Minnesota Vikings straight up. I think Minnesota is enough that you can get away with the -5, so take Minnesota. -5, and take the over 46.5. Wow, we got an interesting slate of games. I could have told you at the season start, I would have bet you maybe half of these teams, and even more than half. Outside of New England and Pittsburgh, I didn't, maybe Atlanta as well. I didn't expect any of these teams making the playoffs. But although they're here, man, wow. Alright, so we're going to do a quick recap. We're taking the Atlanta Falcons straight up, -3, and under the 41. We're taking the New England Patriots straight up, Tennessee plus the 13.5, and over the 47.5. We're taking Pittsburgh straight up, Jacksonville plus 7.5, and under the 41. And we're taking the Minnesota Vikings straight up, -5, and over the 46.5. So if these predictions are correct, ladies and gentlemen, Pittsburgh's heading to New England in the AFC Championship game, and Atlanta's heading to Minnesota in the NFC Championship game. Now keep in mind, both these teams also played during the regular season. Now, we're speculating at this point, but Pittsburgh without AB were really close to winning due to the controversial call and then a dumb play call at the last second. Also, they lose that game, and then Minnesota was able to do enough defense to get the Falcons out of the end zone in a very low-scoring tight game. But then again, we're just speculating at this point. Who knows what's going to happen? Alright, that's all from me. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Join us on our Facebook page for more entertainment. And I shall see you all in the conference championship games. Deuces.